One of the most wholesome communities on YouTube is also home to some of the worst people on the platform. From Jaden and James's hilarious life stories, to Kurzgesagt's easy-to-understand science content, and Alan Becker's action-packed stickman fights. Tens, if not hundreds of millions of people have grown up watching animated content on YouTube, and they still appreciate the creators who made that happen. But for every animator who actually earned that respect, there are others who used it like a weapon, and crossed lines that should have never been touched. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be taking a look at some of the worst animators on YouTube, how they took advantage of their viewers' trust, committed borderline crimes against their young audience, and how one of them even ended up behind bars because of it. But before we talk about the worst of the worst, let's start with a creator whose controversial moment was equal parts hilarious and cringe. Verbalase is one of the OGs of YouTube. He started all the way back in 2006 as a beatboxer looking to share his talent with the world. But while he saw some occasional success, it wasn't up until 2016 when he truly blew up. In March of that year, he released the first video in his cartoon beatbox battle series, where, true to its name, popular cartoon characters duked it out in the ring with beatboxing.
Supersonic.
The idea itself was a bit odd, but its implementation was spot on. The series combined catchy melodies with original hand-drawn animation for a final package that was ridiculously fun. Anyone who watched them once kept coming back for more, resulting in just the first episode of this series getting over 25 million views to date, which was leagues ahead of his other content. And it wasn't long before Verbalase was all in on cartoon beatbox battles, and the audience couldn't have been happier. This is also the series that allowed Verbalase to reach over 5.9 million subscribers on YouTube, with a staggering 1.2 billion views, billion with a B. Verbalase looked like he would go down as one of the legends of YouTube, but then, the reputation Verbalase had over the course of 18 years came crashing down practically overnight. In January 2024, a video featuring Verbalase's animated persona went viral across the internet. It was an animated music video in which the main character of Has-Been Hotel, Charlie, was madly in love with Verbalase. The video showed her using magic to teleport Verbalase to the show's version of hell, then chasing him around the city before ultimately catching him, tying him down, and proceeding to do not safe for work things I can't show on YouTube. The whole thing was extremely cringe, but that wasn't even the worst part, because the person responsible for this video's creation was Verbalase himself, and he apparently paid around $50,000 for it back in 2021. What followed was one of the biggest beatdowns in internet history. Both Verbalase and the video turned into a meme, with people clowning on him for spending so much money to create his cringe fantasies. But that wasn't it. People also found his old videos from 2020 where he was begging viewers for money to keep the cartoon beatbox battle going.
This could be the last episode of Cartoon Beatbox Battles. Because of all the new YouTube changes, I will not be making any money from this video to pay the animators. If you guys want to see more episodes, please send any small donation to my Patreon or my PayPal account.
He was now being accused of using the money he received back then on funding this video. And while Verbalase has denied those allegations ever since, the timing of when he asked for donations and when this video was made did line up suspiciously well. After over a week of getting memed on by the entire internet, Verbalase finally uploaded a response video on his second channel. In it, he claimed that the video was supposed to be for a second, more mature animation channel he was planning to launch, but the idea never worked out, and he abandoned the video until it was leaked online. Some accepted this right away. Others kept making fun of him, and the internet as a whole eventually moved on, but the damage to Verbalase's reputation was permanent. Google him and the video is the first thing that comes up, overshadowing his 2-decade-long career. At the very least, Verbalase realized that he shouldn't upload this video to the internet and kept it all to himself. But the same can't be said for Shey Gacha, who didn't think twice before crossing every line just so she could go viral. She joined YouTube in January 2021 with animated videos on random topics that were created using the Gacha Life game. But it wasn't long before she started posting commentary videos on some of the most brain-dead topics imaginable, like 2 videos where she argued that both cancer and Tourette's were made-up illnesses, and that people with these illnesses were just faking it for attention. Some fans argued that Shey was just rage-baiting for clicks, especially after she responded to backlash in one of these videos with, "The more comments, the more people see my video." But here's the thing, even if it was bait and she didn't mean whatever she was saying, it was still a step too far. And unfortunately, she didn't stop there, and went as far as to make fun of Jacksepticeye's father the day he died. But even that wasn't enough, because in March of 2021, she uploaded a video defending MAPs, which is short for Minor Attracted Person. In other words, PDF files. She tried to argue that explicit material of real-life minors was just the same as NSFW drawings of fictional characters, ending the video by almost threatening people who didn't like or support MAPs.
If you don't like MAPs, get ready to die.
Luckily, Shey's career was as short-lived as it was controversial. She was banned just 5 months after her first upload. But while Shey only lost her career to her own toxicity, the next animator lost his freedom as well. Near the end of 2017, a new channel started taking over the meme animation community on YouTube. This channel was named Cristali and Zafiro, after the 2 characters that frequently showed up in its videos. The videos themselves were mainly short animations looped to popular meme tracks and sound bites. Many of them were also quite suggestive, which leads us to the first big issue with Cristali. The channel was showing borderline NSFW content to an audience of mostly minors, since they were the primary demographic for meme animations. Cristali then took this a step further and started promoting their Patreon to the same audience, where they would frequently post straight-up corn, with some of these explicit posts even depicting looking characters. However, drawing fictional NSFW content and selling it to minors paled in comparison to this creator's biggest crime, one that eventually landed them in jail. But before we get into that, there's some important context about Cristali that you need to know. Throughout most of their time in the animation meme community, the creator of this channel presented themselves as a 16-year-old girl named Jade.
Hi! In the other video, I sent greetings to thank you all for the nice comments, but not everybody understood. So I thought to say hi like this.
In reality, the person making all of these videos was a 20-year-old man from Guatemala named David Alejandro. He originally started on YouTube with gaming videos under the name Veldrox, and only later rebranded to Cristali in 2017. He even went as far as to hire voice actresses just to keep up the facade. Now, if he had made this change solely to appeal to a broader audience within the meme animation community, it would still be extremely weird, but nothing criminal. Unfortunately, David had a much more sinister plan in mind. He used the Jade persona to get in contact with his age fans, earn their trust, and then ask for pictures and videos, saying things like, "Sure, just tell me how you want them." "Really? Thank you." "Yes, really. But can you show me something you haven't shown to anyone else before, please? Something private?" He sent these messages to a girl he knew was 13, while he himself was close to 19. As his true identity became public, many of his victims came forward with similar stories of their own throughout 2018 and 2019. Eventually, the evidence against David piled up enough that the Guatemalan authorities took notice. After running their own investigations, they arrested him in April 2019 for possessing illegal material he'd allegedly obtained by catfishing his own fans. He was later sentenced to 3 years in prison for these charges, and while he only served a few months before being released from prison, at least he faced some consequences for his actions. Following his arrest, David's channel was also completely wiped from the internet. marking an end to his predatory behavior. The only silver lining in Cristali's case is that at least he kept his degenerate behavior online. The next animator, on the other hand, tried to escalate things a step further. Starting in 2015, Notive steadily built a name for himself in the Roblox community for his animated meme videos.
Oh hey! You stupid crap, moron!
His videos usually revolved around the experience of playing Roblox, and sometimes featured popular memes in the community. This content didn't have mass appeal, but the people who did like it liked it a lot. This allowed him to steadily build a loyal audience over the years, earning over 170,000 subscribers, and becoming a well-known figure in the Roblox community. But behind the safe meme animator persona was a corn-addicted degenerate looking to prey on others. His downfall started in September 2022, when an ex accused him of running a secret Rule 34 account where he posted explicit Roblox animations. And because most of Notive's audience was very young, the existence of an account like that immediately set off alarm bells. It made people question his intentions, especially being involved in a community full of kids. Unsurprisingly, this was a major blow to his reputation, which had remained fully positive up until that point. At first, Notive tried to ignore the backlash, but when that didn't work, he addressed the situation in a now-deleted tweet, where he came clean about his corn addiction, apologized, and vowed to do better in the future. This worked better than Notive could have ever imagined. People appreciated the honesty, and his community eventually moved past the controversy. What his fans didn't know, however, was that this was only a teaser for the degenerate side he had kept hidden behind the scenes. The truth finally came out on September 2nd, 2023, when a throwaway account on Twitter made a post stating, "Coming out about Notive. He is a groomer and has manipulated many others in private." The tweet also linked to a 53-page document that was collectively written by a group of his victims and former friends, and the details mentioned in those pages were disturbing to say the least. The main focus of this exposé was on the problematic relationship between Notive and someone referred to as Blue. According to the document, Notive started talking to Blue when they were just He then started a relationship as soon as Blue turned 6, while Notive himself was about to turn 19 in a few weeks. Notive, however, didn't care and started acting on every degenerate thought that came to his mind. He pressured Blue into drawing NSFW content, sent them NSFW content on multiple occasions, and even drew explicit content of the two together in a Roblox art style. And when a friend asked if Blue was 18, he replied with, "I know it's a little taboo to draw it younger than 18, but it's staying completely between us," admitting that he was okay with drawing an underage person in a suggestive way, as long as he wasn't exposed for it publicly. According to the same document, Notive repeatedly pressured Blue for photos and videos during their relationship, and even admitted to self-ing himself while they were on call. But even that wasn't enough for Notive, because he then tried to meet Blue in real life with the clear intentions of getting physical, even bragging about the meeting on his private Twitter account. And when Blue didn't agree to meeting in person, he became aggressive. This made Blue finally realize the type of relationship they were in, and break up with Notive. He then allegedly started harassing Blue and his friends trying to get back together, which thankfully did not work out. According to the document, Blue wasn't the only person dealing with this. It goes on to describe other toxic and manipulative behavior with friends and partners, including an allegation that he saved a girlfriend's explicit photos as ammo for potential blackmail, even after she clearly told him not to. This essentially marked the end of Notive's career. He lost the love and respect he once had, and eventually disappeared from the internet after deleting his channel. That said, as bad as Notive was, everything he did still pales in comparison to the disgusting allegations that surfaced against the final animator on our list. James Bear started uploading to YouTube back in 2014 with his animated series called Jam World, but despite his consistency, these videos failed to attract a large audience, forcing James to rethink his strategy. After ending Jam World, he experimented with several styles and ideas before striking gold with his comedic sketches. These videos were short, punchy, and entertaining enough to leave people wanting more. All of them also featured his real-life girlfriend, Claire, as a character alongside James, a pairing that his fans grew to like more and more as time went on. Then, in 2019, his videos about No Nut November all went viral. These drew in millions of new viewers and turned James into a major name in the YouTube animation community. He was on his way to stand beside other popular YouTube animators like Jaden, The Odd Ones Out, and Domix. But before he could get even close to their level, a single exposé destroyed everything James had built over the last 7 years, leaving fans questioning how they could have ever supported such a disgusting person. In March 2022, an account named Lalo Does Art posted a document exposing the truth about James Bear, but to say this 182-page document was a mess would be a massive understatement. The whole thing was filled to the brim with incoherent, almost psychotic ramblings to Lalo, including pages upon pages of detail that served zero purpose. As it turned out, this was written by one of Claire's exes who was jealous of her dating James. That said, the one page that caught everyone's attention contained a long message from James admitting to having with his younger sister when he was 13 years old, stating, "It all began in February 2013, when I began to get a little friend called depression. I didn't know at the time, and I did something terrible. I had blank with my sister, which at the time I was, and she was. If it makes you feel better, I'm suffering emotionally, and I did it because of depression. Someone told me that depression can't make you do things, and we've been doing it till, I'm gonna say, till between 2015 and 2016, and I know it's still affecting me. In 2014, I got beat up outside in the cold winter night, and I got sick, and that sickness could have killed me. That's what happened, but don't tell anyone, by the way." This left everyone in utter shock and disbelief. Some fans desperately hoped that it was all a lie and that he would clear things up in his response. Unfortunately for them, James's initial response did the exact opposite. He straight up admitted to the allegation, writing that it did happen, but only once, as if that somehow made it okay, before further adding that it was all consensual. He completely disregarded the fact that a is incapable of giving consent, regardless of the circumstances. He then followed this up with another statement trying to backtrack his previous claims, downplay his actions, and put up a tough front, stating, "First of all, I'd like to apologize to those who are upset and disgusted by some of the claims that are being thrown at me, by what appears to be a premeditated attack on me as a person. Second, I'm ashamed for what occurred in my past, and I'm working towards being a better human being. However, the claim of me being a PDF file, grapist, and is not true. The amount of harassment and threats I've been receiving because of this is astronomical. My past, again, was never meant for anyone to hear, and was a sick, twisted ploy to make me look bad, when really, these people, including you, reading this, don't know my full story. You don't know my personal life. You don't know me personally, and you'll never get to know, because I don't need to tell you. I don't owe you any more attention because I'm trying to be a better human being each passing day. And again, those who have ill will against me, I'm sorry. I'm flawed just like everyone else." James then released 2 response videos to quote address the situation, but both rang hollow, as he avoided any real accountability and kept dodging the core issues. Instead, he would focus on discrediting the creator of the document, hoping that this would somehow make people forget its content.
Recently, a document that is said to be the truth about myself was brought up by many people who think this is new information. This is a 5-year-old document that was made not with good intentions, but rather pure malicious intent. The creator of that said document even tried to blackmail me afterwards and wanted me to end my relationship with someone they used to date.
He then went silent and stopped uploading. But even this wasn't the end of the disgusting James Bear saga. In January 2024, Alicia finally came forward with her own recount of the events in a document titled, "I'm tired of staying silent." She started by including proof that it was actually her, with pictures of James's drawing tablet and YouTube play button, before getting into her story. And she not only debunked James's claim that it was only a one-time thing, but also added more details of horrible actions, writing, "At the age of 9, I was raped by James. I don't remember much about it, but that's when it started. It continued for a long time, especially past 2016. James lied about that part when he addressed this I wish I had done something to stop him, but I couldn't fight back. I was a weak, young girl whose innocence was stolen by a sick bastard of a sibling. No one was there to protect me, I had no one to trust or get support from, and if I had said something to my parents, they probably would have gotten mad at me and not put James far away from me. One time in 2019, when I was lashing out at my mum, I told her what James did to me, and she was like, forget about it and move on. Or some shit. Don't you know how damaging that was for me, to have my own mum say that to my face? She ended the document with a Ko-Fi link asking for donations to help her escape her abusive family. But shortly after posting this document, she deleted it and came out with a retraction on Twitter, stating, "Me and my family had a talk about the situation, and it would be best to not talk about it anymore. I caused nothing but stress along them, and they don't deserve it. I take full responsibility for my actions, especially with doxing them. I only did it because I was upset. But that's no excuse, and I won't ever do it again. So please, if you came to my profile to ask me anything about it, I suggest you don't bother." Many naturally assumed that she was either threatened to post this retraction by family, or they could have posted it themselves after taking control of her account by force. This suspicion only got worse when James posted yet another response, this time with his sister saying the whole thing was untrue.
"This is Alicia speaking, or in other words, this is his sister speaking, and what my brother James is saying is true. First, I would like to give my deepest apology to everyone for spreading misinformation about my brother and about my own family. Truth be told, that I only came forward because I was only upset, and my reasons for being upset were petty, and I had a falling out with a friend. He basically took the blame for nothing. Even after all this time, it was never easy for him to admit that nothing happened between us, when truly he was innocent for the most part."
But it didn't fool anyone, as people were quick to notice how forced it sounded. She sounds like she's a hostage reading her family a written ransom script. Ain't no way was any of this genuine. Unfortunately, despite the public outcry, Alicia never received the justice she deserved. As for James, he continued getting dragged through the mud, especially after his now ex-girlfriend Claire also released a document detailing the toxic side of James in their relationship, how he was manipulative and often forced her to do things that she didn't want to. He has since disappeared from the internet entirely. His channel is still up, now renamed to just James, though with everything he's been exposed of, the chances of him returning and making a comeback are as good as zero. If you enjoyed this video, click the video on screen.